can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like for the baggers.
Back home again.
Back home again.
In
Indiana land.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the next episode of Dirtyard Dish. I'm your host today, Will Smithey, followed in part by Myc Witty, who's coming on to kind of give us the ins and outs of his free agent announcement. So, Myc, how's it going?
Hey, Will. What's going on, man?
Doing good. We had a lot of Twitter, a lot of excitement over your free agency kind of process and decision. I know you've done it before, but just the way to start it off. How did you feel like this free agency process went, and how it's gone so far with the league being a little bit different this year?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the beginning, I was thinking just do the same exact thing that everybody does every year, go back to the team that you're on. Everybody's good friends. You've already made friends with your teammates. Why leave them? Then I kind of got to talking with my mom, I don't know, maybe an hour before the decision was made, and she said, it's good to switch things up sometimes. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, you're in a league with a whole bunch of guys. They're all buddies. Like, you can meet new people, create new relationships. Like, it would be good. Then I explained that, like, me, you, DJ, Reed all play on the same national scale with Dudas. And she was like, oh, so, like, you've played with Will and DJ. Why, like, if you have the opportunity to play with somebody else, why wouldn't you? And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. And then I just kind of thought about it for the next hour as time went on. And, yeah, I mean, we got to the point to where it was a no-brainer. I played with DJ, won with DJ. I played with you, I won with you. And hoping I can play with Dudas and win with Dudas.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, love the insight, kind of given the resources, kind of how you came to that decision. I want to ask about, like, I know your two teams here were kind of the Hounds and the Shorts. The rumor going around is that the Stampede were kind of off on you from the start. Was that a true rumor? Can you confirm or deny that?
I didn't even know the Stampede existed.
Wow, so yeah, Stampede definitely. I know they're going kind of more of a depth route. They weren't talking about just getting the highest guy available, which was you. So that's good to kind of confirm that rumor is going around. So Jeff Porson, our analyst out there, must be doing a pretty good job speaking with the teams.
Yeah, I mean, everything that Porson said was true. I had heard from Dudas, I heard from Jones, and I had heard absolutely nothing from the Stampede.
Yeah, well, he's our wiffle ball insider for a reason. So far, he's doing really good. So I know you've been a free agency before. I think this might be your third or fourth year as a free agent. Do you feel like this year it was more impactful in any way, or do you feel like it was still relatively similar to his years past where you've had to make decisions?
Well, not that it makes any difference that I was, the only one that could make a choice, but I thought that it was a lot more cool for the league for us to have this wave process and see different guys go off the board to different teams, because it makes it a little bit more strategic, right? But yeah, no, I thought this one was the best one by far. Like I said, not because I was the one that got to make the decision, but I was just hoping that whoever was in front, made something that would have to shake up the league, because I knew that if the guys that had played with Dudas for years didn't get to play with Dudas, then there should be a domino effect. And we've seen a couple different kids go to different places, and a couple different guys go to different places. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely touch on some of these other signings that have taken place so far. Kind of keeping with you right now, kind of this decision. Dudas mentioned that he was going to try to, one of his selling points was a custom pair of Jordan cleats for you. I want to see if that is also a rumor, if you want to confirm or deny that at all.
I mean, yeah, I was definitely told about the custom cleats. I don't know what I would put on custom cleats, therefore I don't think that that's going to play a big role in what I do, because I don't know. Nobody probably knows, but I've tried to customize a couple things in my life, and I didn't think they came out great, so stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the kind of the Twitter following we had, kind of following your free agency and how a big story was, I think it may be a good idea maybe get the Short Shorts account to tweet out some some different cleats that you customize, something like that. Maybe see if we get some votes on it, see which ones may be the winner. So that way, if you feel like they don't turn out well, it's not necessarily your fault, kind of the people's vote. Kind of like some of those all-star game cleats people wear where it's kind of what the fans vote on, stuff like that.
It's actually a great idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be real nice. So, I mean, speaking of the short shorts team, kind of tweeting that out, kind of leading to the next point. So, I mean, what kind of is the goal is for you and Dudas, at least with the remainder of the short shorts team? I know you guys we've signed Loggle at this point. Guys, your third guy. Overall, like just adding guys, don't need to name any names or anything, but like you guys feel like you kind of need to add more pitching, hitting, just vibe guys. What kind of thought process there?
With the way that the league's going to be played this next year with, guys only being able to throw 5 innings per team, I personally feel like it would be smart to just go get sluggers and outslug people those, second time playing them, third time playing them. I don't know how many times we're going to play each other this year, but, just being able to hit the shit out or hit the crap out of the ball is probably the smartest thing that we could possibly do. So probably leaning towards hitters rather than pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, and you and Dudas at the top of the lineup already. Hitting wise, you're going to have a great opportunity to just outslug teams and put up as many runs as possible, especially in those games in 2s and 3s that seem to be possible slugfest games this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of like mentioning that, talking about the kind of the new rule changes that Dudas and I touched on, where guys have to throw. We're going to need 2-3 pitchers per team. What are some of what is the biggest rule change that you know about this year that you're excited for?
Probably that one, honestly. Just being able to see guys hit the ball. I feel like home run numbers are going to have to skyrocket, I would hope.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that plays into my favor as well, because I can barely get the ball out of the infield. So hopefully I can get the ball up in the air and hit it over the fence. Had the same exact conversation last year.
Yeah, you definitely could work on the launch angle a little bit. You haven't quite bought into the whole analytics of the launch angle yet, I'd say.
I've tried to buy in. I can't figure it out, man.
Not quite able to do the dip and rip consistently yet and get that launch, but yeah, definitely. I'm kind of in the same boat. Just seeing the hitting go up, seeing guys kind of get the ball out of the yard a little bit more than we had the past couple of years, and I am intrigued just to see who steps up from those second and third arms. Last year I felt like we had a lot of guys take their game to the next level pitching, and that's kind of why we had to make this rule. We had so many good pitchers, nobody was hitting. They were eating up all the innings, so definitely really excited about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say piggyback. I was definitely thinking while you were talking about who are the guys that are actually gonna, show up and pick up those extra innings, and it's gonna be interesting to see the strategic way that the coaches play it too. Like, our ace is gonna throw 3 innings? Are we gonna have openers? Like, there's so many different ways that these games can be played. I'm excited to see how it's gonna pan out.
Yeah. I mean, last year from like my moonshot standpoint, we did a lot of like just team pitching games and game 2s that I didn't pitch. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that from a lot of the teams this year, especially in games 2s and 3s where they're kind of piecing it together, maybe playing some matchups, seeing what all they have from the guys, especially early in the year, trying to figure out who's going to kind of step up to be that number 2 pitcher, who's going to take over the number 3 pitcher role, kind of things like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, and it'll definitely give the people watching a lot more to watch, because I feel like a lot of last year was like we'd get on TikTok or we'd get on Twitch, and it would just be like, oh, number ones tonight, like number ones are going against each other, like tune in. But now, like, we're gonna have games where guys are hitting the ball, or you're gonna see random guys like go out there and shove, and it's gonna be super fun to watch. And I think that it'll bring more people to watch our games, which is gonna be a plus.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely just more activity, just more plays happening in the field, more guys running, more stuff happening. So I think we'll be able to try to get that out there and kind of pick up our viewing standpoint, stuff like that. Because while it is fun watching like really good pitchers go head to head, it's not necessarily the most exciting if people kind of want to see some actual offense happen in a Wiffle game, especially some that aren't in our league, just tuning in.
Exactly. I mean, the idea of action, like, we have that camera that sits behind home plate, which is sick if you're, a pitcher. But, like, a lot of people want to watch sports, I mean, similar to baseball, and they want to watch slugfest. They don't want to watch guys just punch out nonstop and pitcher just stay in his zone. It's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So far here, we're through, I believe, three or four waves of free agency. I'm not quite sure exactly how far we are through, but it looks like each team so far has signed at least 3, if not 4 guys. So I just wanted to ask you, so far, who's been some of the noticeable signings that you've seen teams have that you kind of want to bring to light right now?
Aiden going to the Stampede is enormous.
Mm-hmm.
Buck joining the league back and going to the Yackers is big. We're gonna see Rudy in a notable number 2 role this year. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like everybody that's signed house to the 8 balls, like there's a lot of guys that are moving around that are gonna impact the game in such a big way, and it'll be interesting because I know that, like, I switch teams, but I feel like this is, like, from all of the free agencies that I've done, this is the most moves that have been made. And when I actually sit down and look at rosters of what they've been up to the point, like, probably the most balanced that it's been, even though last year was so balanced as well, it felt like.
Yeah, I agree. So far, like, it's very clear that the moves that teams have made, you can see exactly why these guys were brought into their teams, what kind of role they'll be in, and I think they're all going to thrive at it so far. And as far as balance is concerned, it's definitely the most balanced, at least from the start of the free agency, that we've seen in a long time. There's really no team that looks just like way better than everybody else. I still like a team that has you on, and I think is going to have to be considered kind of the leading contender just for winning the last 2 years. I'm more of a kind of guy that's like, if you got to beat them to get on top of them type deal. So, but I think all 5 teams after you right now have a chance to win, especially when we're talking, 3-game series with how deep some of these teams are pitching wise.
I was going to say, outside looking in, sure, like pitching, like, yeah, you got to beat me, but I mean, you look at outside of our 2 teams, obviously, but like our teams still hit the cover off the ball. But if you look at the Yackers, you look at the Stampede, you look at the Hounds, like the lineups that they've made up to this point, like they're going to have trouble come playoff time figuring out who's going to hit those 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can crush.
Yeah, looking at their teams just already, they already have a really good top 4 hitters, and that's not without even adding some of these 5 and 1 point value guys that are known for being pure hitters already. So there are definitely going to be some teams that, like, come playoff time, it's going to be really, really hard to get through those orders for 5-6 innings trying to shut them down, because there won't be an easy out among them.
Yeah, it's going to be awful. I mean, I've already thought about that. Like, yeah, everybody says, like, oh, Will and Mike got to pitch. Like, they're going to pitch 2 games no matter what. And even if you don't get one of them, you're still going to get Reed. But, like, boys, there's 4 guys. And everybody gets the opportunity to hit me nonstop. Like, I always find a way to lose focus for a couple hitters. And sometimes I get got. Like, those playoff games, you win, lose 1-0. So it's not like it's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these past playoffs were by far the most competitive that I've been in as far as I've been in the league, and I think it's only going to keep getting more and more competitive as years go on.
Yeah, we can stop talking about it. I wish that it was just a breeze, but it's not. Sweat.
Yeah, it's a grind. So anyway, back to kind of the free agency. So we still have some guys left to sign. Is there one name in particular that you're intrigued to see where they go?
Connor Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Smith. Mitch Oversaw. Has D. Louis signed yet?
No, D. Louis hasn't signed yet either.
I'm excited to see where D. Louis goes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
within this right here, like, he thrives, dude. He becomes like he becomes a 10-25 to me, like all his numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, he brings practically that same value, knowing that if he's there, he's going to be able to pitch a whole game, keep you in every single game. He may not go out and throw shutout after shutout 18K games, but he's always limiting teams like, 3 to 5 runs. He's going to put up, 8 or 9 Ks, and you're going to be in every single game he pitches the entire year.
Yeah, not to mention I think his team won the slow pitch last year, or got second. I think they got second. I think you won the slow pitch. But,
Yeah.
like, he willed them through the slow pitch. It was crazy. He just hit home run after home run.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly big bat for slow pitch. You don't see quite as much of it the fast pitch wise. When he does get to slow pitch, he's not afraid to just completely sell out on that home run, and that's the way our league works, especially come fast pitch time. I mean, that one run can be the difference maker in the game.
Yeah, he can swing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other guys you mentioned, Connor Smith, Mitch Unversall, definitely intrigued to see where they sign. They're 1-point value guys. Is who?
Punt.
I don't believe Punt is playing this year. I don't believe he signed up.
Well, I'd like to shout him out because he was by far my least favorite of that in the league. So
nobody can swing harder than him. If he touched the ball, it was going out. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he hit the cover off the ball, man. So
yeah, hit it so hard. And then kind of, I don't know if you have quite all the insights to all the values, but just in general, is there one guy this year that you kind of see him outplaying his value, or at least just getting better than he was the last couple of years, to where he's going to have to jump up tier wise?
Yeah, we can start with my teammate, the one that signed me. Yeah, he's probably going to have to throw a little bit this year, so that 10's probably going to jump up. I feel like DJ's going to have to, DJ just went and got such a deep team that he's not going to have to throw. But, Hollis is the obvious number one, right? Like, that guy's a top 3 hitter in the league, and last year he swears up and down he threw terrible, but he was in almost every game that he pitched in. Rudy probably go up. Gertz is going to throw a lot, and Gertz hammers wiffle ball, so he should go up. I could see Aiden going up. If he's got that damn grandma cap on, he's good for 16, 17 Ks a game.
Yeah, it's disgusting in that cap with no shoes on. It's ridiculous.
Who else we got? Loggle go up. He hits it well, and the pitching videos he's been sending, it looks like he's throwing the tar out of the ball. So
yeah, he's been working, sending the videos out there, out in Yish territory. But he's going to come in. He's going to throw really, really well. That was a great signing, I think, for you guys in the shorts.
And that lefty that you had last year.
Yeah, Connor Young that we signed.
He hits it real, real well, and he can throw it too. So.
Yep, he's another guy sending videos. He's been working on pitching. He's excited.
So I'm just hoping, honestly for us, I'm hoping, everybody gets better. I'm hoping values weigh out a little bit.
Yeah, that would be nice for us. And I'm always been a fan of guys just trying to get everybody better, because I just think it's just going to make us better.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely, I think Dudas is one that you mentioned increases value. He doesn't have to face you anymore, so just hitting wise, just from purely taking those bats out, that's probably good for 3 to 4 points of a hitting value.
I would think so, but it's also 5 innings, right? It's only 5 innings now, so that's where it's going to be interesting. I'm honestly thinking I've already thought about those game 2s. Am I just swinging out of my shoes, hoping that I hit 315, 350? Or am I going to try to put the ball on the ground every single time and try to hit 500 in this league? There's going to be a lot of moves that are strategic this year for everybody that I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, I think some of the strategy from teams is going to have to change this year from kind of the years past with these rules. And I think we'll see it go two ways. I mean, I think some teams will just say, hey, we're just going to flat out slug it out and just play the long ball. And you will have teams that are going to say, hey, get as many guys on base, just try to squeak together some runs and some really long innings, and then see if we can end this game, time limit-wise a little early in a kind of a muck it up type of affair.
Yeah, so, I mean, since we're on this pod, like, if a game ends early at nighttime, because, I'm not on the board, so I try to understand, but game ends early at night, that counts as a complete game?
Yeah. So the way the rule's set up, it's 5 innings or a complete game, whichever happens. So if it's if the time limit ends at 3 innings and you throw all 3 innings, that's a complete game versus that team. Or if it's a run rule in 4 innings, and you throw all 4, that's a complete game versus that team. So this was purely designed and set up to need 3 pitchers to play the series versus every team.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good rule. I think it'll be interesting as well to see, like, I mean, some guys might think, like, hey, our number 2 is just as, is going to keep us in it just as much as our number 1. Like, we're going to run our number 2 out this game. So I'm interested to see how that works, too. There's going to be a lot of strategy this year.
Yeah, going to be a lot of matchups. Coaches are actually going to have to kind of follow track through who they're pitching against guys and actually have a game plan to build out. So once that fast pitch schedule comes out, I would imagine coaches will already kind of be slating in guys when they're starting and letting them know ahead of time. At least that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, not everybody, is as advanced as you are at the wiffle ball will.
Yeah, I mean, at least have a baseline. It always changes. Some guys struggling, some guys do as well. You keep them longer, shorter, but at least have somewhat of a general idea, like which days they're going to at least get a ball to start.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about all this and the strategy and stuff, kind of the last thing here is there anything that you've been working on or you're going to keep working on for this upcoming season, specifically just for CCW in our summer?
Yeah, I think another pitch would be good.
Yeah.
I don't really do anything bat wise till come season, but that slow pitch last year really, I think it really took a toll on my swing early in that fast pitch season. But yeah, just trying to add another pitch and really just like go out and have a blast. I don't really have anything else. Learn another pitch.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to have a lot more else anyway. I mean, three titles in a row for you, 2 as like the kind of the main guy on the Hounds. So I mean, I wouldn't expect you to have a lot to want to add in your game. But yeah, I mean, just knowing you, I know you're always still working on stuff and trying to get better.
Yeah, I think you forgot to talk about the one that I got backpacked for. But hey, I get it. Yeah,
a title's a title.
2, 3 in a row, whatever. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, title's a title. 3, I think is. This will probably need to be fact checked, but I don't think anybody has more than 3. Voris might have gotten to 4, but I don't feel like he did. I can't think of anybody that has more than 3. So you're already at the top of that list right now.
Hey man, that's why I moved like LeBron, baby. South side, South Shorts. Hey, we're chasing number 4. We thought it would be good to get on Dudas's team before his value goes too high because they came up with the rules before free agency. So yeah, I think that helped. Also, going back to like the first or second question, I think that also helped my decision as well. It's like knowing that he could get the ball, and not to mention I like the way he plays as well. So being able to be on all of your guys' teams at some point in my CCW career was sick.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice perk to have. A guy like Dudas, he throws super hard. The way the innings limits are set up this year, he's usually good for a couple innings, not much more, and now he can actually kind of fill in that role. And then, obviously, hitting and fielding wise, he's one of the best to ever do it. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
He's all right. I mean, he's gonna have to show me that he's one of the best ever to do it, and I'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it, people. There's kind of the inside to Myc Witty's free agency decision. Kind of anything you want to plug here at the end? If not, we're gonna sign off.
Yeah. I'll. I mean, a lot of people that are watching this already are probably gonna watch CCW as a whole, but yeah, I think that. I think our fast pitch season and our cup ball season are both going to be nuts this year if guys can make it out and And I mean, we keep similar rules for cup ball the same way that we did our style. I think it'd be great for the league.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that,
definitely.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully we can get a more official cup ball of the year this year with NWA moved up, and then go from there. So, want to thanks for getting on the pod, kind of telling your story to the wiffle ball world.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yep, thanks for being here. And that ends up another episode of Dirtyard Dish.